So in today's video, I'm going to claim that the average person, yes, the average person can build muscle and lose body fat at the same time, something that is commonly shit on across the fitness space on YouTube. And the reason why I'm going to make this claim and back it up is really for the results you can see on the screen. That was a 16-week, this was a 12-week, and this was a 8-week transformation, where I think we can say that muscle was built. I mean, look at that front shot and tell me this guy didn't build any muscle across the 12 weeks. Same with this guy. Can we move this? Yes, we can. Okay. I think it's fair to say as well, even with this guy, maybe this guy you could even say not so much, but the top two I'm 100% backing. They built muscle and lost body fat over a certain time frame. The reason I want to make this video is because I believe the general population has a big limiting belief that they can get in shape and that it's so far away from them to get in shape. Like if you look, don't look at the after photos now, just look at the start photos, because that is probably what the average person looks like. And that's probably me being generous. The average person probably has a lot more body fat. All of these guys here, I would say, are below 20% body fat or sat around it. The average person is probably even a little bit higher. But let's say the average male that is actually striving for fucking greatness in his life is probably around or no more than 20% body fat. That's probably you watching this channel. I'd like to think if you're researching about this shit, you objectively know you want to improve. So I really think there's a limiting belief behind, can this be achieved? And because of that, I think that limiting belief alone will have probably thousands, if not millions of men that just didn't take the action to get in good shape because they didn't think they could because of, do I need to just build bulk loads or cut loads or what is it? And it's confusing, so I understand. So I wanted to make this video. Hopefully it gets pushed out enough that a lot of men see this and be like, fuck, it's not that far away. I just need to understand the process and the steps and I can actually do it and have the physique that I want and look how I want. Because fucking hell, it's your birthright to look how you want. Like, you were put on this earth. I'm no more special than you, and neither is anyone else that's in good shape. It's your birthright to look like this. Any human body can transform into this. It's fucking science at the end of the day. It's a formula, and it spits out a good result. So, the reason I make this and I get passionate about it is I want everyone to look like this, because it's fucking so fun. It's so fun. You just walk with fucking confidence and zest about you when you're cutting about the world. Let me tell you, it makes approaching anybody much more easier. So honestly, I want to share this information with you. Now, just for quick context, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tom Sergey. I actually don't look like this right now. This was last year when I was in the best, the sharpest and the leanest condition of my life, for a bit of transparency. And I run the Gorilla Platoon. It is an online physique transformation program where we get results like this for the guys. Obviously, I used to be in the military, so it's a military-themed background ethos about the group, and these are the results we get. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you get value from this video because you watched it to the end, then subscribe. If you don't subscribe. That's absolutely fine. You should only fucking subscribe to stuff that you find is valuable. So absolutely. So we're going to get straight into it on this video with my promise to you that by the end of it, we will have crushed your limiting belief of getting into the best shape of your life. That's the promise I want to nail in this video. If I do a good job of that, subscribe. If I don't, then also fair enough. If you're a returning viewer to the channel, thank you for coming back, brother, and I hope you find more value in this video like we have done in the past. So, we're going to roll straight in. When we find the average man, this is probably the average man. Now, what I'm going to do is go through each of these points in here, and then you'll understand why the average person can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. I'm so close to getting those two phrases mixed up, and obviously, of course you're going to lose muscle and gain fat at the same time. I tell you now, most men on earth are experts at that, so you won't need to listen to me. Right, let's roll straight in. So, the first thing I would ask, in fact, let's describe the average male, which is pretty much this guy here, okay? So the average male, let's say even has an interest in training, the average male will maybe go to the gym anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week. Nice, cool. And he'll go in there, shift a bit of tin, get a little bit sweaty, maybe even push a little bit of a burnout, do a bit of stuff and then leave and then cool. Then he'll go back and he'll just eat food, like does what he does. Maybe he walks a bit, maybe he doesn't. Who knows? Eats out, drinks out, like bit of healthiness, bit of walking. Slightly understands that like whole foods versus processed foods. Yeah, nice. What workout routine you following? Well, I train my chest like this, and then my shoulders, and then my back, and like that's the average person, okay? And we're going to go through these points now. So ask the average person, have they followed a strict diet plan before? You'll be surprised, because everyone that's come to me, or everyone that I've coached so far, has never followed a diet plan that was set to their current body composition to get them to a current goal. The way we get results like this is by understanding their current body composition and giving them a specific nutrition plan that is set with the right amount of protein, the right amount of fats, and then the rest is filled with carbohydrates for performance in the gym. You will be surprised. The average person is not following a strict diet plan that is set for them for their prescription. They will follow a general diet plan, but the numbers are not set specifically to them, because I appreciate, unless you're like me and you fucking research this shit in your own time all the time, it's just like you just wouldn't really know, would you? Because how would you work that out? How would you work out your body fat percentage and then like your muscle and then what you would then need to then make the shift to get down to... I've made many videos on that, by the way, if you want to know the answers. But like the average person just wouldn't know that. Of course they wouldn't. So the answer is no. Have you followed a strict diet plan before? No. Have you followed a workout plan before? Well, no. The average person is just going into the gym. They understand the concept of like chest, shoulders, triceps, biceps. They understand that. The average person is not retarded, and I'm not going to make them out to be. But the average person is not following a workout routine that is set with specific goals and target areas to bring up in mind. The average person is not following a program. Let's be honest. The average person is not following a program. They know roughly what to do in their head. They know the rough exercises they did last time. They're probably repeating that. So like subconsciously, they're kind of following a program, but they're not objectively looking either on a screen, in a notebook, on a piece of paper. This is exactly what they're doing today. And let's be honest, when we say follow a workout routine, we're saying session type. So it's either push, pull, legs, chest and back, arms and delts, back and shoulders, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They're not following session type, exercise list specifics with relative to the area they were trying to bring up, sets prescription, rep prescription, RAR, reps in reserve prescription, tempo prescription, time under tension, and then recording all of that. That's following a plan. Is the average person doing that? Let's be honest. No. No, they're fucking not, all right? So we know the answer to that is no. Is the average person tracking nutrition? No. Of course they're not tracking nutrition. Because if they were, they wouldn't be watching this fucking video, and they would understand the concept of all of this sort of stuff. Who tracks nutrition? People like me. People like probably you. Like, if you love and breathe this shit on fitness, you've probably got MyFitnessPal on your app. You've probably logged in over 100 days. They're people that track nutrition. If you haven't logged on MyFitnessPal if you're under 100 days, you probably don't really track nutrition that consistently. Okay, so and let's be honest, this video is not made for the fucking absolute gym rats that have been going 5 years on the bounce. It's probably not for them. Can you learn something? 100%. Because if you've been going to the gym for 5 years, you probably have an interest in wider body composition and how to actually make changes and all this sort of stuff. So you're going to like be interested to hear what I have to say. But if you're not, then you're not going to track nutrition, obviously. Now, if you're not following a workout routine, you can bet your fucking bottom dollar the average person is not tracking their lifts. Because it's effort, it takes time. It's like, fucking hell, what did I do there? So if you're not tracking nutrition and you're not tracking your lifts and you start to do that, do you think you're going to be able to see some good change to the physique? You would like to think so, because you've gone from no data to actual data to base your decisions off. The average person, I tell you now, does not eat enough protein. Do you know how I know this? Because when I started to understand what enough was, I thought, oh my God, how am I going to get all this protein in? So much protein, like, whoa. Because most people are having protein with 2 meals max per day. And like, even if you got a shit ton of chicken or steak and split that across 2 meals, it would be a lot of like the protein source. And motherfuckers don't want to spend so much on their food bill. So, like, no, what people are not for sure not eating enough protein. Because until you get over that limiting belief that you basically need to have protein with every meal, and for the average male, you basically need 40 grams per meal. Like, that's just the reality of it. If you're having 5 meals, that works out at 5 meals, 40 grams a sitting. Or if you're down at 160 pounds, then yeah, cool. 4 meals at 40 grams a sitting. And 40 grams is a fair amount. It's like 200 grams of chicken or something like that. So you're going to need a fair amount of protein. The average person is just not having that. And you'll be surprised when you actually start having the required amount of protein. Funnily enough, like, muscle starts, like, it makes muscle easier to build. You repair. You don't get a sore for as long. Like, that's just the way it works with protein without going into the full science of it. Does the average person have a real training age of 2+ years? And a real training age of 2+ years would look like you have been to the gym consistently for 2 years, every week, bar the exception of, what should we say, what's reasonable? Let's say you had maybe even 4 weeks off across that year because you went on holiday, you were sick one time, this, that, and the other. Let's say the average person has 4 weeks off the gym. I don't, because I fucking love this shit. So of course I don't. You will never get me to take 4 weeks out of the year off the gym. But let's be fair and say the average person has to take 4 weeks off the year because they don't want to train when they go on holiday or whatever. Don't know why you would want to do that, but let's say they don't. They've applied progressive overload for 2+ years. They've tracked every lift they've done. They know tangibly what they've improved on. They can put their hands on their data that they've improved on. They've also tracked nutrition for 2+ years. They've done all this sort of stuff. That is someone that is probably not going to be able to build muscle and lose body fat at the same time. But I don't think the average person has consistently done that for 2 years. And if you haven't, this should be fucking music to your ears, because when you start doing this stuff, and this is a very important point about the video, you get noob gains, which maybe a lot of people have maxed out, but you can kind of get secondary noob gains when you actually fix all of the shit in this video. When you start following a nutrition plan, following a workout routine, logging, tracking both of those metrics, eating enough protein, you'll be surprised. You will build a shit ton more of muscle. And I don't think the average person has maxed that out. I don't think they're anywhere close to maxing that out. The next thing is to ask is, or to understand that they haven't had no long breaks from the gym. If you have had a 3-month period off the gym and you go back to the gym, trust me when I say you will fucking dangerously change the shape of your physique. You will add a significant amount of muscle. If you haven't though, if you've not taken any long breaks off the gym, then obviously you're not going to be able to do that. But I don't believe the average person has taken a shit ton of breaks from the gym and not been so consistent. And the last one would be times meals. This is not as important, but it shows your level of structure and understanding. If you time your meals around your, like, specifically carbs around the workout, you're going to get more out of yourself. You're going to be able to build more muscle. So, like, you're going to be able to build muscle and lose body fat. So it's going to assist you. So we understand that the average person is not doing these things. So for the average person to build muscle, lose body fat at the same time, and this is how I know these points work, because this is what I do when I get someone in. I assess their body composition, I give them the structure to all of this, and that's how we get the result. So when someone comes to me, we then make them follow a strict diet plan, which I check every day, review every week that they followed that to the T. If they followed all the nutrition to the T, I will be able to see what result that got us at the end of 1 week. And then I can tweak that accordingly to then get the next response. Because I obviously have the education knowledge, and this is what I fucking live and breathe for my day job, night job, whatever you want to call it. So if they start following a structured diet plan, you will see change if you've not done that before, 100%. If you follow a workout routine that was set for you with all of the metrics I mentioned before, and you start to apply that, your physique will change. Even if you start to apply tempo and actually coming slow on the way down, pausing at the bottom, versus what the average person doing, which is lifting like a sewing machine, you will see significant amount of gains. Trust me when I say you will get those new born again gains if you start lifting with proper tempo. If you start training with 0 reps in reserve, like truly 0 reps in reserve and not being a little bitch, you will see more gains, 100%. If you start training with proper range of motion, if you start understanding the origin and insertion of the muscle and bringing them together with load in the middle, you will see more gains because the average person doesn't know that. And this is why I get results like that, because I'm taking the average person and every bit of knowledge in my head, I'm directly applying it. Bang, bang, bang. Send me your form clips. Right, do this better next time. Do this like this. Do this like this. Send me the video. Oh, cool, they're applying this. Bang, this is how we get the results. Eat exactly like this. Right, let's take this away this week. Cool, we got this result. And then once you give them that structure to follow and they apply it, that's how the results come. Tracking nutrition and tracking lifts. If you track your lifts and you get stronger, you can objectively say, I got stronger. Well, what is lifting that extra load? Fresh air? That? It's probably a muscle, isn't it? Like, we can pretty much say, if you started lifting 20 pounds on your chest press and now you're 40, the gap that's been made up has been lifted by more muscle. I think that's a fair assumption. So we track lifts and track nutrition so we can objectively put our hands on the data. We know we're going to give them the right amount of protein so that they can repair and grow from the sessions. Obviously, they don't have a real training age of over 2 years. Training age is basically 0 to 1 when they come to me, and then we stack at least 4 months together of following the. If you've done all of these for a consistent amount of time, that's your real training age. Your real training age is following structured plan, following a structured nutrition plan, tracking both metrics, and then pivoting your what you need to do off that data. That is your real training age. Most people's is not plus 2 years. Obviously, you won't have had long breaks from the gym, but most people, when they come to me, they've been so sporadic and it's been so inconsistent that when I actually get a hold of them and they've been out of the gym for a while, their physique's going to blow up. If they've not been consistent, and they come to me and I make them consistent, your physique will change. So it should, if you've not been consistent over the last month or two, it should fucking excite you that you're going to see some good amount of gains, and that will propel you forward. And then, of course, we're structuring the specific meal timings. We're spreading out the meals across the day with the pre and the post, obviously being around the workouts. We're eating the right amount of carbs that are, if it's a higher GI, we can eat it close to the workout. Lower GI, we want to eat further away from the workout. And all the rest of it that comes with meal timings. So that's why I believe that if you follow these things, and the average person isn't following these things, that you can build muscle and lose body fat at the same time. Now, just quickly, how are you going to measure if this is working? Well, for fat loss, you'll be taking photos. Again, the average person is not taking weekly fucking photos or weighing themselves on a scale to see how their weight is saying. Do you know how I know that? Because motherfuckers will always need to go and buy a set of weighing scales when they come to me. So that's how I know people are not tracking their fucking scale weight. So take photos and track your scale weight. If you're getting leaner in the photos, lighter on the scale, you are losing body fat. How do we assess if you've gained muscle? Honestly, visually you'll be able to see it, but tangibly, if you can see that your lift has gone up over a period of time because you tracked it in your workout log, you know you have tangibly built some muscle. So I would go off increased load on lifts. That's how I would track if muscle was built. Visually, you're going to see both of these things, but let's say we use the scale to go lighter, and the reason why the scale will go lighter is because most people are like, if you're 20% body fat, you can't build muscle and lose fat faster than you can the other way around. So you will always drop body fat a lot faster than you can build muscle. That's why at the end, the scale will always be technically lighter. It just by how much will depend on how much body fat you lost and how much muscle you gained, of course. So that is everything I have for you in this video. Hopefully, if you are the average person, this should excite you, because you only need to start doing really a few things, albeit very important pillars of getting in shape, and you will be able to see a good change in your physique, which is really what you wanted anyway. You wanted to see how far away is it that I can start seeing results like this and being fucking happy. Because let's be honest, you don't want to look like Mr. Olympia. I don't want to look like Mr. Olympia. It's not really the goal, and that's so far away from where you're currently at. What you really wanted was within the space of anywhere from 12, 16, maybe 20 weeks of good work to look pretty good in the mirror, to look pretty good amongst like everyone else and your friends. Because once you've got this, you can decide what to do next. You can go into a building phase, and the building phase will take a lot longer, into a specific surplus, But from this point here, you're going to be pretty happy. And this is what you really wanted in the first place. You wanted to bridge the gap from where you were currently sat there to where you look now. And it's honestly not as far away as you actually think, as long as you apply what we spoke about in this video. So hopefully this gives you an insight and, like, you know, a good kick up the arse and some excitement to get after it and change how your physique looks. Because as I said in the start, it's your fucking birthright to look exactly how you want and to just enjoy your body. You're going to walk around in this for the rest of your life. It's not like a car that you've fucking macked up and down the motorway. You've banged a 4 out of 10 in the back and a fucking heel marks are on your roof and you just get rid of it. No. This is your physique that you're going to walk around with in the rest of your life. So take it fucking serious. So if you found value in this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want me to do this directly for you, book a call. There'll be a link in the description. And I will see you tomorrow.